Hedy Lamarr was a wonderful actress with an amazing scientific mind. She was an inventor and a pioneer in the technology that paved the way for today's Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth communication systems.
Florence Nightingale, a statistician, founder, and pioneer of modern nursing. Ms. Nightingale is best known for her contributions in standardizing hygiene and sanitation conditions in field hospitals. Ms. Nightingale's work in infection and prevention control is the foundation of nursing practice today. Florence Nightingale.
Bessie Coleman. Bessie dreamed of flying, but as a young African American woman, she had to face very many difficult situations. Because of this, she had to fly out of America so that she could learn how to speak French. And then she came back to the United States so that she could earn her pilot's license. Bessie Coleman, till this day, remains the first African American Native woman to hold a pilot's license.
Gabrielle Bonner. She was a French designer, and she also founded the Coco Chanel brand. She created casual chic as the feminine standard of style.
Madam C.J. Walker, $2 in a Dream. She was the first self-made woman millionaire. She created a whole woman empire for the beauty industry. So thank you, Madam C.J. Walker.
Mary Barr was the first female CEO of a major automaking company. She started at General Motors.
Irina Sendler was named Righteous Among the Nations and awarded the Order of the White Eagle for saving 400 out of 2,500 children from the Warsaw ghettos during World War II.
Serena Williams is considered one of the greatest tennis players of all time. She has also won the most Grand Slam single titles of any player in the U.S. Open era.
Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to serve on the Supreme Court, later established an institute in her honor.
Ursula Burns, an American businesswoman, the first Black woman to become a CEO of a Fortune 500 company in 2009. Forbes ranked her as the 22nd most powerful woman in the world in 2014. That's Miss Ursula Burns.
Dr. Antonio Novello changed the face of medicine. She was the very first woman and the very first Hispanic to become Surgeon General of the United States of America.
Mary's obedience and purity gained her favor with God to be impregnated by the Holy Spirit.
Simone Biles has won 25 World Championship medals. She is considered the best gymnast of all times.
Misty Copeland, the first African American prima ballerina of the American Ballet Theater.
Listen, if you're a woman or you care anything about women or women's rights, or have a heart towards the struggle as a woman, this is the video for you. This is a call to all women. Listen, you've been hit with so much, and this is a call to push back. Now I pray that you listen and that you hear me without prejudice. I want you to listen beyond all of the propaganda, beyond everything that you've been saturated with. Because even a blind, deaf, and dumb man have enough sense to know that we are in the middle of a war. And this is one of the most tumultuous times of our society. But the question is are you on the right side? But how do you know if you don't know what's actually being fought for, or you don't really understand what's at risk? In order to understand what's being said to you or how to interpret anything that's going on, first you have to know that in the midst of all of this chaos, there's order and an art form. There's a book that this is written about years and years ago, actually several books, about this type of a war and strategy that's happening. Did you know that the most essential part of a war is not the military force? It's not in the fighter jets that streak across and darken the sky. It's not in the tanks that roll across the landmass. And it's not in the soldiers that stand behind the M16s and AK-47s. One of the most essential parts of war, especially a war like this, is called military deception. And it's used predominantly by smaller parties to gain an advantage over larger ones. See, military deception focuses on the decision makers of the adversary. They use the minds of the decision makers, if the decision makers give them ear, to either further their agenda or to do nothing as they progress. And you might say, what does that matter? What does it matter that decision makers are hearing or listening? Why are decision makers even important? Let's talk about it. Decision makers are important because tanks don't move. Planes don't fly. Soldiers don't march unless they're given orders first. Why do you think these parties are rallying around the White House and other capitals across the globe? They're fighting for the minds of authority figures. But see, we fighting for the hearts of the people. See, I'm not a member of Congress. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a conservative. And maybe we'll talk about why these titles or labels were given in another video. But I come to you as a man that's got 3 daughters that we are making a tomorrow for. Women for years have fought to be accepted. The modern Olympics resurfaced in 1896, for an example. Women weren't allowed to play or participate until 1920. The WNBA was founded April the 24th, 1996. It took 50 years after the established men's league for women to be given their own space where young women could aspire to take their skills. For centuries, women have fought and are fighting for equal rights and to be properly valued. In the workplace, women have fought, and some are still fighting for equal wages and opportunities to have their well-deserved seat at the table. The thing is that you've covered tremendous ground, only for our sisters to be misled and duped into forfeiting everything that you fought for through the years. That's either through fear or through ignorance. But we're not here to stand by while our sisters, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever nationality, sisters are a unique gift given to mankind. This message is for you. This call is for you. This call, this cry, are for people like Madison Kenyon, crushed 5 times by men. No real outcry until now. But we out here, we lit, and we got that love. We got that Mary J, that real love. And we ain't going nowhere. We won't just speak for you. We're inviting you to speak with us. Pay attention. Isn't it ironic that we aren't really seeing trans men enter the Olympics, the NBA, or the NFL draft to challenge or compete against men? Why not the boxing ring or the MMA cage to fight against men? And when we do see it, we see stuff like this. When we see women competing against men, it usually looks like this. This view was not to ostracize or to show off women's weakness. The thing is that women are not weak by any means. Your strength is just elsewhere, and it's beautiful. Men don't have the threshold to bear children, have contractions, go through all the things that women go through while maintaining mental brilliance and stability. You're excellent. You're unique. You're God's gift. You deal with so much while every single month, like clockwork for most of you, your whole life is disrupted. I mean, when you go through 9 months of pregnancy, you have to carry a whole other person while not missing a beat because you're a woman. My mom had 4 children, raised them by herself, 2 jobs and school. I won't take too much time talking about how magnificent women are. You've got the stripes. No one should be able to just claim the victory without first being related to the struggle. Wake up, sisters. You're major. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Wake up. You should be cherished, respected, honored, all the stuff that you go through while contributing so much. Woman is a status born into and earned, not something that could be gained by simple imitation or claim. See, it's on you. It's in you. It is you. And I know what some of you are thinking. Why is a man giving this talk? I'm here as a man to say, sisters, we need you. Without our sisters, I wouldn't be here. In fact, each person on the face of this planet is a product of what happens when a man and woman come together. When men and women agree, biological, we are the most fruitful. If we completely stop doing what is naturally in us to do, this world would be barren, at least of men and women. And I read somewhere, for the first time when I was 18 years old, I read that a virtuous woman's price is far above rubies, meaning you are priceless when you operate in your full virtue. And some might ask, what's the big deal? What's the big deal in who claims womanhood? Why can't you see that the reason why any of the achievements mentioned in this video mean anything is because there is a distinct difference between a man and a woman, and the difference is where the beauty actually lies. But entertain me for a minute. Think of if Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali, after reigning world champions, decided to cross the road and fight in the women's arena. What would it look like? Or if you were up for a promotion at work, ladies, and in the middle of the interviewing process, there was a man that chose to identify as a woman, got the position, then a year into the position, had a change of heart, went back to identifying as a man. Can't you see how that would remove some of the laws that have been put in place to protect you? This would again create an environment, an atmosphere where men come in and monopolize. And we see it happening now. I hear you now. What is a woman? The thing is, we know exactly what a woman is. And if genitalia doesn't define her, then why is it being pushed on young men that want to identify as a woman to go under a surgeon's knife? And if we didn't know what a woman was, drag queens all over the world wouldn't have a template to imitate. The gender suffering the most behind all of this madness is our women. It's you. And to add insult to injury, we'll say that we don't even know what a woman is.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
This is the ultimate form of disrespect. If you're paying attention, that's like saying, I don't know what a black person is. Who would Ronell Foster be? Who would George Floyd be? See, radical prejudice was believed to be the reason for these deaths. What if the cops, all of a sudden, chose to identify as black men? Here's one for you. If Donald Trump all of a sudden wanted to be recognized as the second black president of the United States of America and began to wear brown face paint, as a black man, I would be livid. And I wouldn't be alone in feeling disrespected. What if he went a bit further and put laws in place to recognize him as such, or set up camps in schools to teach your children the same? Or white men started identifying as blacks and began to take advantage of the racial equality laws in the workplace. Can't you see how this is all working? Young girls are being disheartened as men enter the track, the ring, and the swimming pools. Their dreams are being stripped from them after years, sometimes lifetimes of work. This is a time to do something. This is a time to stand up. This is a time to operate in how God created you, and even to help those that struggle with it. This is not a message to crush anybody, but this is a stand against the deception in this world. This is what happens when you allow people that have struggles and brokenness in your midst, and you refuse to deal with it. So instead of dealing with it, you give them the pacifier and a platform. But it's people like us that's here to change it up, that's here to stand for something. Welcome to the Truth Brigade. And that is the truth, and that is it.
Determined.
One that gives birth.
A woman is strong.
A woman is beautiful.
A woman is me.
Thanks for watching. My name is Minister Alvin West. Keep your eyes open. We got more content coming. But for now, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, make sure you plug them comments, and share this thing.